Did you know that people over 60 who consume the wrong type of seafood are up to 3.6 times more likely to experience accelerated cognitive decline compared to those who choose the right kinds? That stat alone should make anyone pause before ordering their next shrimp cocktail or tuna sandwich. According to a large scale study published in the journal Neurology, mercury and heavy metal buildup from certain seafoods can directly impact memory, coordination, and even emotional regulation in older adults. And that's not the only danger. Some seafood options are ticking time bombs for heart disease, inflammation, or even cancer, especially for seniors whose bodies process toxins less efficiently with age. This isn't just about taste or preference anymore. It's about survival, clarity of mind, and quality of life. And if you think it's okay to just cut back a little, here's the chilling part. Even eating some of these dangerous seafood options once or twice a week has been associated with increased levels of toxic compounds in the blood that can linger for months. Imagine something as seemingly harmless as your favorite sushi rolls silently contributing to nerve damage, heart issues, or even long-term brain fog. It's terrifying, but not irreversible. You just need to know which fish to avoid and what to replace them with. By the time we get to the number one most dangerous seafood, you'll probably never look at your grocery store's seafood section the same way again. Before we dive in, if you care about staying sharp, healthy, and strong as you age, hit that like button and subscribe. And share this with a friend who needs to hear this too. It might change their life. Number 5. Swordfish. Swordfish might look like a delicacy fit for a fancy dinner plate, but if you're over 60, this fish could be silently wrecking your nervous system. The biggest issue with swordfish is mercury. It's one of the most mercury-contaminated fish on the planet. Why? Because swordfish are huge predators that live long lives. As they eat smaller fish, the mercury from those fish accumulates in their bodies over time, a process called biomagnification. According to the Environmental Defense Fund, swordfish often contain mercury levels over 1.0 part per million. That's nearly 3 times the FDA's action limit for safe seafood consumption. For a younger adult, that might be tolerable in small amounts. But for seniors, whose livers and kidneys may no longer filter toxins as efficiently, it becomes a nightmare scenario. Mercury is a neurotoxin, meaning it directly harms the brain. For older adults already at risk of cognitive decline, even moderate mercury exposure can worsen memory, concentration, and coordination. In fact, a 2021 study published in Environmental Research found that seniors with elevated mercury levels had a 45% higher risk of dementia symptoms. This isn't rare or theoretical, it's happening now. And because swordfish steaks are dense and often grilled or seared in thick slabs, the portion size tends to be huge, packing in even more mercury per bite. It's a deceptively elegant poison that's best left untouched. Number 4. Imported farmed shrimp. Shrimp is America's most popular seafood, but if you're over 60 and regularly eating imported farmed shrimp, you're swimming in dangerous waters. The problem isn't the shrimp itself, it's where it comes from and how it's raised. Around 94% of shrimp consumed in the US is imported, mostly from countries like Thailand, Vietnam, and India, where regulations on antibiotic use, cleanliness, and chemical exposure are shockingly loose. In many of these shrimp farms, crowded tanks are filled with antibiotics banned in the United States, such as chloramphenicol, a drug linked to bone marrow damage and fatal aplastic anemia, especially in older adults with weakened immune systems. The scariest part: these chemicals often remain in trace amounts even after cooking. According to testing by Consumer Reports, over 60% of imported shrimp samples contained harmful bacteria like E. coli, Vibrio, and even MRSA, a drug-resistant superbug. Now imagine this scenario. You're over 60, your gut health is already more fragile, and you unknowingly ingest shrimp tainted with bacteria or chemical residues. That could mean days of gut inflammation, months of fatigue, or in some cases, hospitalization from food poisoning. It's a food roulette you don't want to play. Worse still, seniors with high blood pressure or kidney issues are especially sensitive to the added sodium and preservatives often injected into shrimp during processing. If you absolutely must eat shrimp, make sure it's wild caught from US waters, but even then, moderation is key. Number 3, king mackerel. It's oily, flavorful, and often praised for its high omega-3 content. But don't be fooled, king mackerel is a wolf in fish's clothing. This fish is another predator species that ranks extremely high in mercury, often topping out at 0.73 parts per million, way above safe levels for vulnerable populations. The issue here is not just the mercury itself, but how it interacts with aging cells in the body. A 2020 meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Toxicology showed that older adults with high mercury exposure had significantly elevated inflammatory markers, especially C-reactive protein, CRP, which is a major predictor of heart attacks and strokes. When your body is already dealing with aging joints, slower metabolism, or cardiovascular strain, adding mercury to the mix is like throwing gasoline on a smoldering fire. In fact, elevated CRP from seafood-based mercury exposure can persist for up to 10 weeks, even after stopping consumption, meaning a single fillet of king mackerel could inflame your body for more than 2 months. What's worse, some king mackerel are mislabeled as Spanish mackerel or simply mackerel, which might sound safer, but they're not. The FDA actually advises children and seniors to completely avoid king mackerel because of the long-term health risks. Yet it still finds its way onto dinner plates due to misleading labeling or lack of awareness. If you want the benefits of omega-3s without the mercury, there are much better and safer options coming later in this video. Number 2, tilefish. Tilefish might not be as popular as tuna or shrimp, but for those who enjoy adventurous eating or love trying catch-of-the-day specials at restaurants, this fish often appears on the menu under the radar. It's a gorgeous, colorful fish with a mild flavor, but it hides an incredibly dark secret. Tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico is one of the most mercury-laden fish in the world. According to the FDA, it averages an astonishing 1.45 parts per million of mercury, making it the absolute highest among commonly eaten fish. To put this in perspective, that's more than 4 times the FDA's action level for mercury contamination. For seniors who are more vulnerable to neurotoxins due to age-related blood-brain barrier changes, the danger skyrockets. Mercury exposure at these levels has been linked to tremors, sleep disturbances, and even mood disorders like depression in older adults. A 2018 study published in Neurotoxicology found that seniors with higher blood mercury levels scored significantly worse on cognitive tests assessing memory and executive function compared to those with lower levels. Imagine losing your ability to recall names, follow conversations, or balance properly, all from a few healthy fish meals. What's even scarier is that tilefish is often mislabeled in fish markets and restaurants, sometimes sold as golden bass or golden snapper. This makes it nearly impossible for the average consumer to avoid unless they know to ask very specific questions about the source. For anyone over 60, the safest course is total avoidance. Number 1, albacore tuna. Here we are at number 1, and it's probably sitting in your pantry right now. Albacore tuna, the white tuna found in most canned varieties, is the most dangerous seafood for seniors, not just because of its mercury content, but because of how frequently it's consumed. Mercury levels in albacore tuna average about 0.32 parts per million, which might sound lower than tilefish or swordfish, but here's the sinister twist. People eat it far more often. Seniors often turn to tuna for an easy source of protein, sandwiches, salads, or casseroles, without realizing they're slowly poisoning themselves with methylmercury. This form of mercury binds tightly to proteins, meaning it doesn't cook out and accumulates in your tissues over time. A study in Environmental Health Perspectives found that adults over 60 with blood mercury levels in the upper quartile were 70% more likely to develop cardiovascular disease and had significantly higher systolic blood pressure. The study also noted that women over 60 were particularly vulnerable, with a 57% increased risk of cognitive impairment tied to mercury exposure from frequent tuna consumption. The problem intensifies because canned tuna is cheap, convenient, and often recommended as a healthy option, leading many to eat it multiple times a week. Even worse, albacore has 3 times the mercury of skipjack tuna, the kind used in light tuna, making white tuna the far more dangerous choice. If you're over 60 and eating albacore more than once a month, it's time to stop completely. The potential damage to your brain, heart, and kidneys isn't worth the convenience. If this is helpful so far, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more science-backed tips to keep you thriving at any age. And hey, share it with someone you love so they can make smarter choices too. By now, you're probably wondering if any seafood is safe at all. After all, fish is supposed to be good for the heart, rich in protein, and packed with brain-boosting omega-3s. The truth is, not all seafood is created equal. While some fish accumulate dangerous levels of toxins due to their size, lifespan, and position in the food chain, others are remarkably clean and nutrient-dense. For seniors, choosing the right seafood can mean the difference between chronic inflammation and a thriving, active life well into your 70s and 80s. The next section isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. We're going to count down the 5 best seafood options for seniors, each carefully selected based on low toxin levels, high nutrient density, and proven health benefits from credible scientific studies. These aren't just safer options. They're powerful foods that can actively protect your brain, joints, heart, and even your eyesight as you age. And when we get to number 1, you'll discover a seafood so potent in anti-inflammatory compounds that one study showed it could reduce arthritis pain in seniors by nearly 50% in just 12 weeks. Number 5. Atlantic mackerel. After all the fear around mercury in certain fish, it may sound strange to start with a mackerel, but here's the key. Atlantic mackerel from the North Atlantic is a completely different story than its toxic cousin, king mackerel. This smaller, short-lived fish has very low mercury levels, often testing at less than 0.05 parts per million, which is about 14 times lower than king mackerel. That alone makes it a safer choice for seniors. But what truly sets Atlantic mackerel apart is its incredible omega-3 content. A 3.5-ounce serving contains roughly 2.5 grams of EPA and DHA combined, making it one of the richest natural sources of these brain-protective fatty acids. For seniors, omega-3s are vital. Studies published in The Lancet Neurology found that adults over 60 who consumed at least 1 gram of EPA or DHA daily had a 29% reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. In addition, omega-3s are known to reduce joint stiffness and improve mobility in osteoarthritis patients, something critical for maintaining independence as we age. Preparing Atlantic mackerel is simple and delicious. Because of its rich, oily texture, it does beautifully when grilled with a bit of lemon and olive oil or baked with garlic and fresh herbs. To maximize benefits, aim for 2 servings per week. Unlike larger predator fish, there's no risk of overloading on toxins. Number 4. Sardines. Don't let their small size fool you. Sardines are a nutritional giant for older adults. These tiny fish are at the bottom of the food chain, meaning they don't accumulate dangerous levels of mercury or PCBs like bigger fish do. Tests have shown average mercury levels as low as 0.013 parts per million, making them one of the cleanest seafood options available. But it's their nutrient density that's truly astonishing. Sardines are loaded with vitamin D, calcium, selenium, and protein. Just 1 can of sardines, around 3.75 ounces, contains about 351 international units of vitamin D, which is over 87% of the daily recommended intake for adults over 60. This is crucial since vitamin D deficiency is common in seniors and linked to weakened bones, poor immune function, and even depression. Sardines are also an exceptional source of calcium because you eat the soft, edible bones. This calcium helps maintain bone density, protecting against osteoporosis, a major concern for older adults. A 2020 meta-analysis in Osteoporosis International revealed that seniors with higher calcium and vitamin D intake had 33% fewer fractures. To prepare sardines, you don't need to get fancy. Try them straight from the can on whole grain toast with a squeeze of lemon and cracked pepper, or toss them into a salad for a protein and nutrient boost. Opt for varieties packed in water or olive oil instead of soybean oil to avoid unnecessary omega-6 fats. Number 3. Rainbow trout. Here's one many people overlook. Rainbow trout farmed in the United States is an excellent seafood option for seniors, not just because of its mild flavor and tender texture, but because of its incredibly clean profile and powerful health benefits. U.S. farmed rainbow trout is raised under strict environmental standards, resulting in one of the lowest contaminant levels among farmed fish. The Environmental Defense Fund classifies it as a best choice for sustainability and health. Nutritionally, rainbow trout is a powerhouse. A 3-ounce cooked portion contains approximately 981 milligrams of omega-3s, along with 19 grams of high-quality protein and significant amounts of potassium and B vitamins. For seniors, this combination supports heart health, muscle maintenance, and energy metabolism. Potassium is especially valuable because it helps regulate blood pressure, and higher intake has been associated with a 27% lower risk of stroke in older adults, according to research in the Journal of the American Heart Association. Preparing rainbow trout is incredibly easy. Its delicate flesh cooks quickly and pairs beautifully with Mediterranean-style seasonings. Try baking it with a drizzle of olive oil, fresh rosemary, and thin lemon slices. You can also pan-sear it for a crispy skin finish that makes a weeknight dinner feel gourmet. Eating trout even once a week can provide measurable cardiovascular and cognitive benefits, making it a staple for any senior's diet. Number 2. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon. When it comes to heart health, brain function, and fighting inflammation, wild-caught Alaskan salmon stands out as a near-perfect food, especially for seniors. Unlike farmed Atlantic salmon, which is often contaminated with PCBs and dioxins, wild Alaskan salmon swim in pristine, cold waters and accumulate minimal toxins. Testing has consistently shown their mercury levels to be as low as 0.022 parts per million, far below even the most stringent safety thresholds. But the real magic lies in their nutrient profile. Wild salmon is loaded with astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant responsible for its deep red-orange hue. Astaxanthin has been shown to protect against oxidative stress, a key driver of aging and chronic diseases. A 2016 study in Nutrients found that seniors supplementing with astaxanthin experienced significant improvements in skin elasticity and cognitive scores within 12 weeks. But it doesn't stop there. Wild salmon delivers about 1.22 grams of EPA or DHA per 3-ounce serving, which supports brain health and can even help manage symptoms of depression, a condition that affects up to 20% of adults over 60. It's also an excellent source of high-quality protein, vitamin D, and selenium, all of which are vital for maintaining muscle mass and immune resilience as we age. To prepare wild Alaskan salmon, keep it simple to preserve its delicate flavor and nutrients. Grill or bake it with a light brushing of extra virgin olive oil, a sprinkle of sea salt, and fresh dill. For an anti-inflammatory punch, add a side of roasted vegetables tossed in turmeric and black pepper. Seniors aiming for optimal brain and joint health should consider enjoying wild salmon twice a week for maximum benefit. Number 1. Mussels. This may surprise you, but the humble mussel earns the crown as the number 1 seafood for seniors. Why? Because it's not just safe, it's one of the most nutrient-dense and medicinal seafoods on the planet. Mussels are incredibly low in mercury, averaging a mere 0.01 parts per million, and they're environmentally sustainable to boot. But their health benefits for older adults are where they truly shine. Mussels, particularly the green-lipped variety from New Zealand, are rich in unique omega-3 fatty acids called ETA, eicosapentaenoic acid, which have been shown to reduce joint pain and stiffness by up to 42% in seniors with osteoarthritis, according to a 2018 randomized controlled trial in clinical rheumatology. These omega-3s work synergistically with other compounds like glucosamine and chondroitin, naturally present in mussels, to protect cartilage and improve mobility. But that's not all. Mussels are also packed with bioavailable iron, vitamin B12, and selenium, making them an excellent food for preventing anemia and supporting nerve health. Just 3 ounces of cooked mussels provide 340% of the daily recommended intake of vitamin B12, crucial for maintaining cognitive function and preventing age-related memory loss. Preparation is simple and fast. Steam mussels in a broth of garlic, white wine, and parsley for a delicious, heart-healthy dish. Pair them with whole grain bread to soak up the mineral-rich juices, and you've created a nutrient powerhouse in under 15 minutes. For seniors, incorporating mussels once a week can provide profound benefits for joint health, energy levels, and brain clarity. The ocean offers a vast array of seafood options, but for seniors, the key is knowing how to navigate the choices to maximize health and avoid hidden dangers. The 5 seafoods we covered in the first half of this video: swordfish, imported farmed shrimp, king mackerel, tilefish, and albacore tuna, are best left off your plate if you want to protect your brain, heart, and joints. But don't let that discourage you from enjoying seafood altogether. The 5 best options we've just explored: Atlantic mackerel, sardines, rainbow trout, wild Alaskan salmon, and mussels, are not only safe but incredibly rejuvenating for the aging body. By making these swaps, you're not just avoiding harm, you're actively feeding your body the nutrients it needs to thrive well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. So the next time you're at the fish counter or scanning a restaurant menu, remember, what you choose today could determine how sharp your mind stays, how strong your joints feel, and how vibrant your golden years truly are. Stay informed, eat wisely, and enjoy the gift of health that the right seafood can provide. If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. You never know, it could be the nudge someone else needs to take control of their health today. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 5 seafoods shocked you the most with their hidden dangers? Or do you have your own favorite seafood that's been a game changer for your health? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.